Imagine if your Minecraft world had a multi-climate crater or an enormous cliff-face cavern. Here are 20 seeds that will inspire you to build in Minecraft 1.19. Make your way south through dense, dark forest and ice-capped mountains riddled with lush and flooded caves until you reach the tallest, most magnificent peaks of all. Jagged white spires piercing the clouds, containing a long, deep, narrow valley. With the challenging verticality of this location, it'll take a skilled and imaginative builder to stamp their creativity on these mountains, especially since you'll be watched over by this pillager outpost. A cozy little village sits tucked beside a windswept hill bordering a vast ocean and a sprawling swamp. Little do they know the hills just beside their home are largely hollow, containing entrances to countless tunnels and cave systems. At all times of day, this cave is full of beasts preparing to emerge in the night, but should you come along and clear it out for the villagers, it could make for an excellent hidden base, with wonderful access to abundant resources and a convenient river that can act as your base entrance. Somewhere in this blocky world, another clash of biomes produces a mountain range reaching far above the clouds, stabbing at the sky with a multitude of colour. Imagine building right here, where you'll have permanent views of the wooded badlands. Your build will benefit from the abundance of wood types, water sources, and exposed caves. Just make sure your build is a special one, because this is a view you'll never want to leave. Tucked between steep savanna and mixed forest hills is a lake deeper than one can fathom with the naked eye. Should you drop into its depths, you'll find a floor not of dirt, sand or gravel, but deep slate with exposed lapis, iron and redstone. Various cracks and tunnels line the edges of the depths in the center of the floor to explore, should you have enough potions to sustain yourself there. Just imagine the incredible things you could build in the depths of this lake with the help of some conduit power. On a rocky tiger shore between vast warm ocean and glacial seas sits an exposed lush cave right at your feet when you spawn into this world. Waterfalls curtain away a long stretch of the first chamber, but at first it seems shallow. Surprisingly, with a short search, many holes through the shelves of clay show paths deeper and deeper, layer upon layer of cavern reaching down deep into the earth. If you're interested in a lush cave build, it doesn't come more convenient and inspiring than this spawn. If you ever want to start small but expand into more adventures than you can imagine, this is where you begin. An oblong valley bordered by steep, towering plateaus is what you'll call home. You'll have everything you need here, but should you grow lonely, 2 villages wait for you just beyond the walls and many new biomes to gather from. Start with a small starter shack next to the lake, fish to your heart's content, and then expand into a large enclosed town filling the whole valley. If you love a good vertical build and homes up high, look no further than this tall, precarious, windswept taiga mountain. Chipped and carved away by harsh winter winds, it provides a unique challenge to any builder looking to make something scenic and original. Trade a little with your neighbours, explore the surrounding mountains and lakes, and build yourself a nice home somewhere high to spend your evenings watching the sunset and cliff diving into the pond below. A single grassy mound sits in a deep crater between barren, stony mountains. This mountain range pierces the sky as high as they can possibly go, giving this build location some intimidating surroundings. If you grow lonely, a savanna village waits just beyond the mountains, should you tunnel your way there or brave the climb. While this location may make you feel isolated, there's a great opportunity for a road to connect your build to the ocean. A beautifully curved mountain sits jagged and towering over a dense taiga forest. A single watchtower sits at the valley entrance, keeping an eye on intruders to your future build location. The mountain slopes are bordered by rivers flowing through the ravines and cascading down into lively green caverns. Should you grow tired of the scenic surface, there's plenty more to see beneath the earth. A perfect place to raise a warm, cozy garden away from the chilling climate above. But you will be chilling after you build your homely log cabin hidden with the forest of this jagged peak valley. You wake from meditation upon a bamboo pole. To your left, a falling gateway to the nether. To your right, a small plateau sporting both jungle and mixed birch forest, which could be a perfect location for an elevated treehouse. All around you are winding rivers flowing as far as the eye can see in all directions. From this one small jungle hill, the entire world is in your reach. You need only choose when and how to start. If you ever need a break from adventure and want a peaceful, comfortable life in this blocky world, then come to this cozy, quiet beach. If you need a quick shelter for your first night, there's a small jungle temple just a short walk away. If you want something simple, the beach is wide and flat with plenty of space. When you're ready to explore, just around the corner from your relaxing jungle resort, you can find a jungle temple island. Here you spawn on a snowy peak with a lush cavern fully exposed to the cold surface just beside you and spread across the mountains in various shallow craters. Look around for a moment and you'll find the mountains form a ring into a deep crater valley containing a small but dense dark oak forest just begging to be settled in. Once you do, take some time to expand into the deep lush caves through the ravine, but be careful. Venture too deep and you'll be greeted by the skulk, guarding geodes, a mine shaft, and a skeleton spawner. Every great base has an XP farm though, right? Follow the coastal cliffs of this new world and soon you'll find an enormous cavern in the cliff face just barely above the water and facing the wide open sea. The open entrance is so large that it's still noticeable from a long distance. Whether you window this off or keep it open to the ocean breeze, I just know someone could turn this into the best modern cave base we've ever seen. When you wake in this fresh world, you find yourself surrounded by steep hills and colourful cliffs, tucked in a cozy hidden valley to build your perfect ranch, dotted with flowers of all kinds and varieties. Perhaps a dream building location for a beekeeping builder. Your new neighbours atop the cliff are eager to trade, providing surprisingly cheap emeralds to aid your progress. Should you meet them there and peer about the world surrounding you, you'll find winding rivers and meadow valleys for even more building inspiration. A minuscule island sits in the midst of an enormous lake. It's barely large enough for a tent, and yet the view is breathtaking. The lake is bordered by sheer cliff faces on all sides. A stunning, jagged peak mountain and calming shoreline that would be perfect for a coastal walking route that circles around your island. Though small, I know someone will appreciate these views enough to put in the effort to expand the island and make it their home. A hook-shaped meadow wall sits in the midst of a vast open plain. There are villages on either side of the crescent hill, taking full advantage of the peacefully flat terrain and open air. Between the crescent walls is where you'll build your home. Your new home will be tranquil and untroubled thanks to its flowery wall of defense. Adventure over the wall and you'll encounter more flowers, meadow and rivers calling out to be bridged. Should you venture from these waters, you'll find yourself on a small island in a dry lake bed, surrounded by towering mesa mountains, colourful terracotta titans in all directions, both barren and wooded. A deep scar cuts into the nearest mountain, exposing a dripstone cave to the surface air. But be wary, the deep dark lurks below. Should you brave it, the ancient civilization below will provide a plethora of resources. Before taking on that challenge, settle on this wooded mound, build your town, and make use of all the valleys to expand and reach new horizons. You spawn atop a tall, snowy mountain littered with spruce, in which sits a deep forested crater. Should you venture down into the skulk and through the waterfall, a long-abandoned city awaits so close to where you began. But should you venture beyond along the surface, across the peaks, you'll find a mountain surrounded by nearly every environment you could wish for. Every kind of wood in this world is at your disposal in such a short space, just waiting for you to make something incredible with it on top of this mountain. Far into a vast ocean, you may find this glorious crescent island with a smaller island sitting cradled in the middle. There's a plethora of birch wood, sugarcane, and chicken to sustain you should you not care for fish. I'd love to see a house on the middle where the birch island is surrounded by varying watercolors. From your central home, build multiple bridges connecting yourself to the outer island moon. A drastic clash of climates sits in the valley of a circular hill containing a deep, cavernous lake. To one side of this valley is forested hills beyond flowery hilltops. On the other, frozen mountains and dense spruce woods dotted with villages thriving against the cold. This half-frozen haven would be ideal for a lakeside community. Set up your builds around the shore of the lake and up on the meadow walls, but be careful where you step while you're building. On the frozen side, there's a drop into a huge dripstone cave with cascading waterfalls and glowing lava. I know some of you cave dwellers will appreciate this bonus feature to an already perfect location. Comment down below which build location was your favourite and let me know what you'll be building there. Click on the next video to continue your seed search.